Hello V Squad, and welcome back to another episode of VGIRL TV. Welcome back to my canal, the YouTube, and I am back with another video. Guys, please bear with me. I'm actually really struggling through this video because it is raining season right now and allergies are literally kicking my butt. I took something for it, but because I am still breastfeeding, I'm limited on what medications I can take. So the one that I could take, it stopped with the itching of the throat, but my nose is still like running. So anyway, by the title of the video, I am sure you guys already know what this video is going to be about. And in true VGIRL fashion, you guys know that I'm always going to bring you the real deal. Like, whatever goes on my channel or the information that I put on the channel comes from my perspective, and I always try to keep it, not always try to, I keep it 100% real. Okay, I'm gonna give you the good, the bad, the ugly, regardless of what people may feel. I don't got time to be politically correct. Okay, I have time to give people accuracy. And a lot of you guys have been reaching out to me, and you guys are saying that you are coming to visit and you were interested in going to Cologne. I know that embassy had put out a warning telling people not to go to Cologne right now, and a couple of you guys been messaging me asking me like, hey, what's going on in Cologne? And I'm gonna give you pretty much a breakdown of what is going on. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch one of my old videos where I actually went to Cologne to visit my friend. For those of you who do not know, my family is from Cologne. When I would be sent back to Panama for summers, I would stay in Cologne. Although I was not born in Cologne, I am a true Colonense at heart, by blood. So I have a lot of love for Cologne because, like I said, that's where I would hang out. That's where my parents would send me, and that's where my family is from. So there's something about Cologne that will always have a special place in my heart, regardless of what people say or how they may feel. If you do not know where Cologne is or what Cologne is a province in Panama. Cologne is on the Caribbean side, and it's on the Caribbean entrance of the Panama Canal. So if you ever visited the Panama Canal and you did the tour where you went through the canal, you would definitely pass Cologne. Cologne is known for their beautiful beaches. They are also known because mostly there are a lot of black people that live in Cologne and that are from Cologne and are descendants of Afro-Antillean people. Not as much anymore. Well, they still are descendants, not as much as before. A lot of people spoke English back in my parents' time, that are from Cologne. Usually, like, if you are black and you speak Spanglish or you have like a Caribbean accent, they will always ask you, oh, you from Cologne? For that reason, because there's a lot of black people, there's a lot of black people that reside in Cologne, and the culture in Cologne is a little bit different from that of the city. And like I said, I'm super proud of Cologne regardless of what anybody may feel or the things that people may say. But one of the obvious things about Cologne, especially if you go into Cologne City, is that it looks it's not so pretty, right? If you go into Cologne City, like I said, it's not very pretty. You may see garbage around the place. If you've seen my old video, there are comments where people are like, why is it so dirty? Why is it so dirty? And this is the reason why there was such a huge protest in Cologne on Monday. The reason is, imagine being in a relationship. Imagine you and someone comes up to you, a partner comes up to you, a person is interested in you, and they're telling you that, you know, give me a chance, I promise, you know, I'm gonna get it right. I know everybody else done you wrong, but if you give me a chance, I'm gonna make it better. I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna do this for you, I'm gonna do this for you. And then when you finally give them a chance, they don't. And that's pretty much what has been going on in Cologne for years. Every time someone gets elected or running for some official, they go in and they promise that they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that for Cologne, and then when they get elected, they forget basically what their promises is. Cologne is probably one of the provinces that the government put the least amount of investments in, and that is insane because, like I said, the Panama Canal is there and also the Zona Libre is there. So you would think like, okay, these are major parts of the economy. These two infrastructures are super important to the economy in Panama. You would think that the government would actually do something for the province of Cologne, like they say, but they didn't. On Monday, unfortunately, and like I said, no matter what you do, there's always going to be a bad bunch, right? So although the protest was supposed to be a peaceful protest, you did have some people taking advantage of the situation, and they started loitering. As the trains were passing, like the cargo trains were passing, they broke into the cargo trains and started stealing people's merchandise or whatever it is that they had in there. They started stealing basically their cargo. Unfortunately, like I said, it was for the most part supposed to be a peaceful protest, and it was a peaceful protest, but there are some people that are always going to take advantage of situations, just like with the BLM movement, where it was, for the most part, people were peacefully protesting and people used that opportunity to do things that were not per se it wasn't the best decision, right? And it's the same thing that goes on. Whenever people are trying to protest peacefully, there's always a group of people that they just do the complete opposite and they just push us back a couple steps behind, unfortunately. And that's pretty much what's happening. Am I upset, or how do I feel about the protest? I feel like it's time that the people stand up for what they believe in. I feel that for many, many years, the people of Cologne, I don't want to say that they have been silent, but they really just sat down and just complained. Like, everyone always sits down and complains, like, oh, even people in my family member, look how they do us in Cologne. They don't do nothing for us, blah, 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 which they have all rights to feel that way because they're 100% correct. But what is words without really actions? And I'm so proud to see how these people stood up and they let their voices be heard. And I am so happy, especially because this is the month of Etnia Negra, which is Black History Month. And I'm super proud to see that they're finally putting a voice behind their actions. The thing is that there's so many people that want to invest in Cologne, and with Panama having so much money because of, i.e., the canal, it's just sad that they don't take into account this particular province. They'll do for every other province except this one, and you got to sit here and think why, right? And I know I've done videos saying that Panama is not as racist as the United States of America, but I was also very clear that racism does exist, and although it's not as prominent as in the States because this is more of a classist country versus a racist country, there are still classes and racist system that is put in place in certain areas, right? If you go back into history, you would know that many people who migrated from Panama to build a canal, the people that were from West Indian descent and spoke English, they migrated and settled into, or they assimilated into the city of Cologne. And like I said, back in those days, you were called chombos, you were looked down upon by the people and as well as the government, right? And I think that although we are in 2022, I think a lot of that ideology is still in place today. The education system in Cologne, unless you can afford private education, it is not that great. The living situation in Cologne is ridiculous. Buildings have been condemned for years, and no one came in. The government hasn't put any money into place to actually fix these buildings. One thing that they did do was they did pay people that lived in certain areas to move off of the building, but the buildings are there empty and they are not being fixed. They would start projects in Cologne and never complete the projects, and then that is what is the major issue. Then, you know, with the pandemic, they kept using the excuse, oh, the pandemic, i.e. the government, and they still have not invested back into the city of Cologne. So just to give you, I don't want to make this video super long and super drawn out, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys the basis of what is going on here and why the people are angry. And unfortunately, this is something that has been going on for many years. And I think now people are just fed up, super fed up. Then you have people that's like, well, you know, the garbage in the street, the people are the ones that put the garbage in the street. They eat and they throw the stuff out in the street. And although that may be true, but that's a problem countrywide, because I see so many people doing that. But instead of investing in projects to teach people, because people do things out of ignorance, like not knowing, right? So instead of investing in projects like recycling and teaching children why it's important to not litter, why it's important to not throw plastic in the street, the education system is kind of just like mediocre, unfortunately, unless you can afford to put your kids in private school. And I think a lot of the reason why people do certain things, and to us we may look at it like, oh my god, that's so savage, or oh my god, why would they do that, is because of ignorance. People just don't know. I went to the beach with my friends, and we were driving behind them, and his girlfriend was drinking a soda and she just threw the drink out the window, and we were all like why would she do that, why? And my cousins were so mad because they're like, you know, they're from Cologne, and they're like, this is where we're from, this is my place of birth. Why can't they take pride? Why is she not taking pride and realizing that her doing that, she is hurting the province herself? And like I said, I pulled my friend aside and I had a conversation like, you know, like why would she do that? You know, it's not cool, this and the third. And he was like, you know what? They don't know. People literally don't know the damages that it does for the environment. And then another issue is that they don't collect the garbage, okay? They need to do a thorough cleaning of the garbage that is in Cologne. They need to fix the sewer system, which is completely like clogged up. And let me tell you something, this has been going on since I can remember, because I remember when my grandmother was still alive and we were walking through the city of Cologne, and I remember the water that was running in the streets smelled like poop, right? So it's still that way up to this day. Not all parts of Panama, but obviously certain parts of Panama is like that. I mean, not all parts of Cologne, obviously certain parts of Cologne is like that. And like I said, a lot of it is because the government does not invest in that province, unfortunately, when it comes to education, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to projects, when it just comes to everything. They're the last of the last to experience and to get any help. And so I hope that this video gave you guys a better understanding of what is going on in Cologne. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. Let's discuss. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please like, comment, and share. And as usual, peace and love.